Last month, a guy brought me a Coyote that another shop had already told him needed a timing job. He was pricing phasers, timing chains, thousands of dollars, already resigned to it, already calling around for financing options. I spent 5 minutes figuring out what was actually wrong, replaced a part that cost less than dinner for two, and the noise was gone. He drove off, still not quite believing it. After 20 years working on Fords, I've lost count of how many owners were one signature away from authorizing a repair they never actually needed. I'm RJ. Today I'm going to show you 5 things I check on a 5.0 Coyote before I let anyone spend real money on it. Most expensive Coyote repairs don't start with a bad mechanic. They start with somebody assuming the most expensive answer before they've ruled out the cheapest one. None of these checks cost anywhere near what owners think they're about to spend. First one, that cold start rattle that sounds like a diesel engine woke up under your hood. Every Coyote owner's heard about it, and every Coyote owner's scared of it. Phasers, timing chain, the kind of job that has the front cover off the engine and a bill that starts with a 2 and has 3 zeros after it. Owners hear that rattle, they go straight to pricing the worst case scenario because that's the story they've heard from everyone else with a Coyote. It's practically folklore at this point. Somebody's cousin had it happen, and it cost more than the truck payment for 6 months. And now everybody assumes their truck is next. Before I let anyone go there, I check the oil first, level and condition, because a phaser can't hold a position on oil that's low or breaking down. Then I check the VCT solenoid. This little part controls oil flow to the phaser, and it can stick or fail on its own, well before the phaser itself is actually worn out. I've had trucks come in with owners already resigned to a timing job, and the fix was that solenoid. Nowhere near the phasers, nowhere near the timing chain. On certain 2019 and 2020 F-150 5.0s, Ford's own diagnostic path for this exact rattle and these exact codes literally starts with oil level, then the affected solenoid, before anyone moves deeper into the engine. This is exactly why I always check the cheap stuff first. You can find a replacement solenoid in the $40 to $50 range. A full timing job on this engine is not a $50 conversation, and it's not a conversation anyone should be having until the cheap part's been ruled out. Result? You find out whether you're actually looking at worn phasers or whether the whole engine was fine and one small part just needed to be tested first. Second one, your oil pressure gauge just dropped to 0, or that warning light came on and your stomach dropped with it. This is the one that puts fear into people fastest. 0 oil pressure means the engine's about to seize, right now, on the side of the road. That's what it feels like from the driver's seat. Oil pump, bearings, a truck that's about to need a new engine. I've had guys pull over on the shoulder of the highway because that light came on, absolutely convinced they were about to hear a knock any second. Before anybody starts talking oil pump, I want an actual number. I screw in a mechanical gauge and find out what the real pressure is, not what a sensor is reporting. More often than owners expected, the real pressure is fine, and the sensor itself, or the connector feeding it, is the one lying to the dash. Ford even documented this exact false low pressure pattern on certain 2016 and 2017 5.0 F-150s. Oil contamination, getting into that connector and sending a bad signal. I've even seen a case where the actual culprit was a valve cover gasket weeping oil onto that connector, not the sensor failing on its own at all. 2 completely different problems, same warning light, same panic. That's exactly why I don't stop at just swapping the sender and calling it done. I want to know why it failed, not just that it failed. This is exactly why I always check the cheap stuff first. That sender runs $20 to $35. An oil pump job is an entirely different number, and I'm not letting anyone pay it until I know for a fact that's actually the problem. Result? A 5-minute mechanical gauge test tells you whether you're looking at a real emergency or a $20 part. Third one, The check engine light is flashing and the whole truck is shaking at idle. A flashing light means something specific. The computer's picked up a misfire severe enough that it's threatening to cook your catalytic converter, and it's telling you about it in the most urgent way it has. Owners see that flashing light and their mind goes somewhere bad. Compression. Internal engine damage. The kind of diagnosis that ends with a phone call you don't want to make to whoever's going to be upset about the bill. I get it. A flashing light looks urgent, because it is urgent. But urgent doesn't mean expensive. Those are two different questions. Before any of that conversation happens, I do the simplest test there is. I pull the coil off the cylinder that's misfiring and swap it with the one right next to it. If the misfire follows the coil to the new cylinder, I've got my answer in about 90 seconds, and it didn't cost a dime to find out. If the misfire stays on the same cylinder after the swap, now we're actually looking somewhere else. An injector, a compression issue, something worth taking seriously. But you don't get to skip straight to the scary answer without doing the 90-second test first. This is exactly why I always check the cheap stuff first. The coil runs around $40. Nobody even needs to hear the word engine before that swap test has even happened. Result? 90 seconds and basic hand tools tell you more than a guess ever will. If checking the cheap stuff first sounds like exactly the kind of thing that could save you money on your own Coyote, that's the whole idea behind the free Ford longevity checklist. It's at FordScope.com. Fourth one. There's a rattle or a squeal coming from the front of the engine, and it sounds like it's coming from deep inside. This is where owners get talked into a timing chain conversation without anybody actually proving it. Front of the engine, metallic noise, and the assumption jumps straight to internal parts nobody can see, because the sound is muffled enough that it could genuinely be coming from anywhere under that hood. A rattle at the front of any V8 sounds internal until you actually isolate it. That's not a knock on anybody's ears. Sound travels strangely through an engine bay. Guessing by ear alone gets people talking about the wrong repair before anyone's actually confirmed anything. Before that assumption goes any further, I pull the accessory belt off and start the engine again for a few seconds. If the noise disappears the moment that belt comes off, now I know the noise is somewhere in the accessory drive, not inside the timing system. Then I isolate exactly what's making it. The tensioner, an idler pulley, the water pump, the alternator, whatever's actually spinning wrong out there. Any one of those is a completely different repair than a timing job. Sitting right there in plain sight once you've actually isolated where the sound is really coming from. Once again, this is exactly why I always check the cheap stuff first. A worn tensioner or idler can be a $30 to $50 problem instead of a timing job, and it takes about 10 minutes to isolate. Nobody should be pricing a timing job off a noise nobody's actually traced yet. Result? Pulling one belt off for 30 seconds tells you whether you're dealing with the engine at all. Fifth one, and this is the one I want you to remember most. You just filled up the tank, and now the truck won't start right, or it stalls at the first light, or the idle goes rough the second you pull away from the pump. That timing, right after fueling, makes people jump straight to the fuel system, fuel pump, injectors, the kind of repair that means dropping a tank, which is real labor before you've even bought a part. Before you let anybody touch that fuel pump, I check the purge valve. It's part of the emissions system, not the fuel delivery system. And when it sticks, it can flood the engine with vapor at exactly the wrong moment, right after a fill-up, which is one of the biggest clues pointing away from the fuel pump. Owners describe it almost the exact same way every single time, and most of them have never heard the word purge valve in their life. This is exactly why I always check the cheap stuff first. That valve runs $30 to $50 before you authorize a fuel pump. Before anybody talks you into dropping a tank over a hard start after fueling, make sure somebody's actually checked this first. Result? The part everyone assumes is the fuel system is sitting right on top of the engine the whole time, and it costs less than a tank of gas to rule it out. 5 different symptoms, 5 different fears, and 5 times the actual answer was sitting right there for under $50. None of this means the Coyote is fragile or that these trucks are falling apart. It means most owners have never been shown where to look first, so the loudest, scariest sounding answer wins by default. It doesn't have to. This is exactly why I always check the cheap stuff first. If this video helped you keep a little more money in your pocket and you'd like to support the channel, hit the join button below. I'll see you in the next one.